Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest online event here at the University of California, Merced. My name is Ricky Hill, and I am your e-recruiter, and I am always so thrilled to be able to join you here online with these virtual events where we have the opportunity to share so much great information with you, especially if you're not able to make it to our campus during some of our in-person events. So a huge welcome to you tonight. We have a very special presentation for you once again. Tonight, we will be talking about the Office of Social Justice Initiatives and Identity Programs and finding your community together. So once again, we're very excited to be here with you tonight. Before we get started, I want to mention something about the college tour. Now, if you've been on some of these other events with us, you may have heard me talk about this before, but if not, let me go ahead and mention it now, and we will drop a link for you over into the chat box. Now, the college tour is a special series that is featured on Amazon Prime. We have an entire 30-minute episode dedicated specifically to UC Merced and highlighting and showcasing our beautiful campus, as well as 10 of our current Bobcats. We're so thrilled that that is coming out for you. It is available exclusively right now through the link that we will share with you. And pretty soon, about another couple of weeks or so, maybe about a month, it'll be dropped on Amazon Prime. So right now, you are getting an exclusive link so that you can enjoy this in the comfort of your living room with your family and friends. Grab some popcorn. You'll get a little bit of a sneak peek into our campus in case you haven't been here yet for a campus tour. But most importantly, you will be meeting 10 of our current Bobcats, listening to their stories about how they chose UC Merced, how they were able to find their community, not to mention research opportunities, internships, and social activities that are on campus, and what it's like to live on campus, all the fun things that you, I'm sure, have questions about before committing and becoming part of the Bobcat family. Once again, we will drop the links for you over into the chat box, so go ahead and pop that open and you can save those throughout tonight's event. Once again, my name is Ricky Hill. I'm your e-recruiter. I'm going to give you a couple of quick Zoom reminders, and then we will jump into our presentation. If you need to adjust your audio settings, you can do that in the lower left corner of your screen. If at any time you would like to zoom into something that we're showing you, click on View Options in the upper portion of your window. Lastly, and always most importantly, even though we're here with a wonderful presentation, we are also fully staffed behind the scenes to get to your important questions. So please take full advantage of the Q&A button that you see on the screen. Send in your questions and we will get to those throughout the presentation. And we also have some time saved at the end during our panel for a live question and answer session. Once again, a huge welcome to you tonight. We are so thrilled for you to be joining us. And at this time, I would like to invite my friend and colleague, Camarina, onto the screen, and we will go ahead and get started.
Hi, everyone. My name is Camarina Morales. I use she, they pronouns, and I am the director of our department, Social Justice Initiatives and Identity Programs. We're so excited to share space with you today, have you learn about our resources, our centers, our experiences, and be able to understand what it's like to build your own community at UC Merced. So I will pass it along to my colleagues who will do a short intro of themselves as well, and then we'll get into some really cool stuff. So again, thank you for sharing space with us today. I'll pass it to my colleague, Destiny.
Hello, everyone. My name is Destiny Charles. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the Assistant Director of the Office of Social Justice Initiatives and Identity Programs. And I am also really happy to be sharing space with you all. And I will pass it to Connor.
Hi, everyone. So glad to meet you. My name is Connor. I am the coordinator for LGBTQ+ initiatives within the Office of Social Justice. Social Justice Initiatives and Identity Programs, and I use he or any pronouns.
Thank you, Connor. So today we're going to give y'all a little bit of insight on our vision, our mission, and our commitment in our department of Office of Social Justice Initiatives and Identity Programs. So our vision is for every UC Merced scholar to thrive in our multicultural global society. Our mission is we really hope in our spaces, in our resource centers, with our experiences and through the engagement in our offices to enhance the retention of our historically underserved scholars and to foster an actually inclusive campus environment for all by providing opportunities for holistic development, intersectional community and building, and student agency as a whole. Our commitment to scholars is to serve UC Merced's diverse scholar community and seeking to influence university policies and practices to position our campus as a hub for transformative leadership and social change here, now, and for the future ahead. So that's a little bit about our department. And now we have, again, our amazing professional staff and student staff here to share with you all what our identity and cultural resource centers are, some of the really, really awesome resources, services, and experiences that we provide, some of the programs and initiatives to share with you today. So now we will welcome Gracie. Perfect. Gracie.
Hi, my name is Gracie Jaime. I use she, her pronouns, and I am one of the scholar coordinators at one of our centers on campus, the Multicultural Center. Alrighty, so what is the Multicultural Center? With a focus on social justice and building, education, training, collective healing, and the student agency, the Multicultural Center seeks to serve the UC Merced community and aspires to cultivate, explore, and provide opportunities for interactions, connections. It is a sense of belonging and to gain knowledge to be equipped and prepare to thrive in a diverse global society. So that's just kind of like what we stand for. Many students come to our center just to, hang out with friends, come in between classes, do homework. We're always having events. We have snacks. We're just always providing resources to our students, just offering a very safe space for our students. So some things about our center hours are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, and we are located in KL 169. So the library is right above us, but we are on the first floor. If you go down the hallway, my center is located down there. We have 3 scholar coordinators, so there should be someone at all times working the front desk for check-in. If not, you're still able to come in. We just ask that you sign in with your CAT card. And yeah, you can do reservations. So if you want to host an event or you want to reserve the space for your club or for yourself, you are allowed to do this. And then we also have free testing supplies. So we have Scantrons. We have a lot of students that come in during midterms or like finals week, and they need Scantrons for their exams. And it's also just a place for students to study, hang out, de-stress, get snacks. We're always providing resources, and we're always a safe space for students of any background. Anyone can come. And yeah, so the MCC programs and initiatives. So these are some of our events that we've put on this semester and this past semester. So we've had a Native and Indigenous Heritage Month celebration. It was really nice. We kind of just we had like a cultural show and tell. It was really nice. We also had community reflection circles. We had a Latinx Heritage Month celebration. We were able to get food for that event. A lot of students came out. And then we also had Love is Social Justice and a finals cram jam.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anissa. I use she, they pronouns. I'm a third-year cognitive science major, and I'm one of the scholar coordinators at our Black Scholars Resource Center. So at our center, we aim to serve students that identify under the ABC, African, Black, and Caribbean identities. In our space, we promote a safe space to discuss community-relevant events and things like that. Our goal is to increase retention of the ABC identifying students as well as navigate higher education. And we also hope to showcase the history and voices of our ABC identities on campus. Our center is will open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. We're located in Granite Pass, 101 and 102. It's under one of the dorm buildings, and 101, it's more of our study space. There's chairs and tables. 102 is more of our game room. We have ping pong table, board games, things like that. We also offer room reservations. So if you want to come in and host an event, or even if you just want to have a small study group with people in your class, things like that. We also offer free testing supplies, just space to de-stress, hang out, relax. We also offer referrals to things like CAPS, health promotion, tutoring services as well. And then some of the programs that we've had over the last year or so, we've had our Taste of Soul, which included just a bunch of different foods from Black identities. We had Black Women's Social Justice, our Black Balance, Finals Cram Jam, and our Black History Month celebration.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Jasmine. I use any pronouns. I am a third-year poli-sci major, and I'm a scholar coordinator at the Pride Center. So the UC Merced LGBT Pride Center provides an inclusive space for LGBT students, faculty, and staff to grow, succeed, build community, experience affirmation and empowerment while at UC Merced through the resources, services, programs, advocacy, and events offered by the center. So we have 3 scholar coordinators who monitor the space. I'm one of them. We are located right next to the main SJI office in the MCC in KL 159, and we offer a lot of the same services as our other centers. It's a really good space to hang out, study, socialize, and it's also a really good place to find guidance for LGBT-related issues. So we run a variety of programs. We are in charge of Women's History Month events. So last year that was writing letters to women that we idolized. We also host community reflection circles that have historically been very popular. We host a yearly drag show. Ours was actually just this past week, and it's also a really good and popular event. And we take a yearly trip up to San Francisco for the Pride Parade. We also host Lavender Grad, which is an end of year celebration specifically for LGBT folk. And then finally, we have monthly smaller events that tend to be very creative and into community bonding. So that's what we do. That's all for me.
Everyone, my name is Ling Baltadana. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a second year cognitive science major, and I'm one of the scholar coordinators for the Asian and Pacific Islander Resource Center. So the Asian and Pacific Islander Resource Center will aim to promote and provide a safe space for progressive dialogue to manifest for students in the Asian and Pacific Islander diaspora. The API Cultural Resource Center aims to increase the retention of UCM scholars identifying in the API diaspora by providing a support system to navigate academia and the professional world while empowering scholars in their intersectional identity. Through the work accomplished at the center, we will preserve, uplift, and showcase the history and voices of the Asian Pacific Islander communities. So much like the other centers, we open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Every day, Monday through Friday. We have 2 spaces. So Sentinel Rock 102 is more of like a lounge space for hanging out, studying, and our 101 space is more for reservations, and it's basically a conference room where students can study, or if you have an org that will host meetings, that's also where organizations will typically meet. We have 3 scholar coordinators that monitor the space as well. And yeah, we have snacks, a study hangout space, we have games, and just different kinds of resources that will aid API students. Yeah. So here are a few of our APIRC programs. So we have our finals cram jam, much like the other centers. We also had our Lunar New Year celebration where we celebrated Lunar New Year through various activities and a performance from our Lion Dance organization on campus. Community reflection circles. We had a Diwali celebration where we had like clay candle making and arts and crafts. And we're also hosting our AAPI Cultural Food Festival on May 1st. So that's next week. And that'll include just showcasing our different API organizations on campus and performances as well.
So thank you so much for that, everyone. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about some ways to get involved with our department. One of the biggest and easiest and most available ways to get involved with our department would be to join a program or event planning committee. So all the wonderful events that you just heard the scholar coordinators discuss and describe to you, those don't just happen out of nowhere, right? It does take a little bit of time and effort and thought and planning, and it's a community effort. And that's a place where, and our spaces are places where we hold these events and where we hold these meetings for folks to get to know each other and to really build a meaningful experience. Another way to get involved with our spaces is to become a scholar coordinator, right? We have 3 scholar coordinator roles in each of our centers, and all of our scholar coordinators do amazing jobs and amazing social justice work. So if you can, if there's openings, we encourage you to apply. Yeah, there are more ways for improvement. There are more ways for opportunity. Just check in with us.
So some of our department programs and initiatives consist of our social justice career fair. We just launched that this year, and it had a really good turnout. It was an opportunity for students to come and find out about different social justice and equity, diversity, inclusion related jobs. It was inspired by the idea of students wanting to change the world, and social justice careers are a best way to do that. Community reflection circles. So we offer community reflection circles monthly. That way we don't have to be responsive when something happens. We can just have that already in place. We offer educational sessions and presentations. We most recently did a presentation on justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion for our fraternity and sorority life on campus. We also have our cultural graduations and celebrations, which consist of the Lavender grad for LGBTQ plus students, the Afropolitan grad for our Black and ABC students, API grad, our Asian Pacific Islander students, and Latinx grad. One has already passed, one is coming up this week, and then we have 2 more next month. We also offer free printing and free snacks. And a lot of our spaces have couches, so we also have a place for you to take a nap. And then lastly, one of our events is a social justice retreat. This year we took about 35 students to Wonder Valley, which is a kind of like conference center camp kind of place. And we spent the weekend talking about just social justice, ways to identify privilege and practice radical self-care, and just different elements of what makes up social justice and how students can take part in social justice work.
All right, everyone, I think we have reached the portion of our event for our incoming questions. So just a reminder to all of our listeners, if you do have any questions that you would like to ask our panelists or our presenters, please feel free to use that Q&A button and send in those questions. We would love to get to those tonight. And at this time, I'd like to also invite back on screen all of our panelists or presenters, anyone who would like to answer some of those incoming questions. The first question that I have, so feel free, open up your camera and hop back on screen with me here. The first question I have, how would you describe the culture at UC Merced to someone who has never been to campus before? And this is open to anyone.
To describe the culture on campus, me personally, I'm from Southern California, LA, so coming to Merced, it was very much a culture shock. But the campus is very welcoming. You will find somebody of your identity or community to collaborate with, engage with, and also just like cultivate and foster a nice relationship with. So as long as you put yourself out there, Merced, you will definitely find someone that aligns with your interests to help you have a better adjustment to being in school.
Absolutely. Does anyone else want to add a comment to that?
I'll add, I completely agree. I think even though our campus is small, you will find someone that aligns with your ideals, aligns with your personal background. You will find your sense of community on campus. And I feel like another beautiful thing about our campus as well is that we are a tight-knit community. You'll see some people that you might see every day walking and passing to class, and sometimes it's just nice to say hi and introduce yourself. And I've met some really good friends that way. So yeah, it's a really good community here.
All right, our next question. What was something about the campus community that surprised you when you first started your journey at UC Merced?
I'll hop in and answer that one. So something that surprised me about the community on campus is just how closely knit it is, despite the fact that it is a fairly large campus. Everyone is, in general, very welcoming, or as welcoming as they can be, and are also willing and genuinely interested in hearing what it is that you do on campus or how they can help. And that's been my experience with staff, faculty, and students alike.
I have a little bit to add. It's like three different talking points, but I feel like the students that come to UC Merced are probably some of the I don't even know how to describe it, like most special students that I've ever gotten to work with. I feel like because a lot of our students are first gen, a lot identify as BIPOC, so Black, Indigenous, people of color. I feel like because of that, we've been able to, again, we're very tight knit. So the community is very close. And I was a student, so it's my alma mater, went there 2013 to 17. And that's something I didn't expect. I didn't expect to receive a little bit of like culture shock, but then also just experience such a such a close vibe with students and also with staff. Also, the staff are some of the most caring and passionate people I've ever worked with. And again, not to diss on any other campus that I've worked at, but I feel like the people that I've worked with here have been really special and they come from literally everywhere. So I just feel like we all come to support students and their success. And I feel like UC Merced is just really special.
I absolutely agree. And as a career staff person, I started at UC Merced back in 2014. So it has been almost 10 years now, later on in the fall for me. So it's been a little while, but I can say as someone who had never been to UC Merced before as a student, it was brand new to me. And even as a staff person, one day I walked down Scholars Lane to grab some lunch and I was just standing in line. I didn't know a soul besides those people in my office. And the student in front of me bought my lunch for me. It was such a surprise to me, not that I hadn't felt generosity from other people before, but I was just so shocked. And that really is a genuine statement, completely authentic, that I think has happened to many other students and staff people before. It just shows kind of an example of the culture that we nurture on our campus. So we're always there for each other. So let's go ahead and move on. We have another question. This one came in through our Q&A. Let's see. So if a person does not identify with a specific group, are they still allowed to join that student group and their activities or events?
So I feel like I can take this one. We, in our spaces, one, we like to really embrace intersectional identities. So just because, so some students may like belong to multiple groups and we really like to embrace that, but also we open our spaces to everyone. One way that we've seen that recently is the Black Scholars Resource Center has been hosting a barber shop where students can come in and get free hair services. And that has been attended by students of all different identities, not just our ABC students. Additionally, in the APIRC, the Asian Pacific Islander Resource Center, they hosted a boba break time, where they just kind of gave out free boba to students. And that was, again, well attended, and it was attended by students from all different identities. Students from who normally visited other centers were like, hey, I'm gonna come and hang out in the APIRC for a little while because they're giving away free boba. So all of our spaces are open for everyone to visit. And you'll find that at different events and different programs, that's really where you get to see that like sense of community of people from outside other identities attending the spaces.
And what a special way for others to learn about different cultures and identities, right? So if I don't look a certain way or feel a certain way or identify in a certain way, but I go to a group that is different than that, and I don't have maybe the experience, the life experience from maybe where I've grown up, coming to UC Merced as a first-year student, maybe 18, 19 years old, what a wonderful way for a person to really get to explore that, right? And build their own community and expand outside of their regular horizons from maybe where they're from. They may not have experienced that elsewhere. So that's really special. Another question we have coming in here. What has been the role of the places on campus, such as a cultural resource center, and let's see, for them and for your friends here at UC Merced? So again, the question, what has been the role of places on campus, such as cultural resource centers, for you and your friends? Or maybe you've made new friends there.
But I would be very confident in saying that a lot of the people that I've met in the center that I run, I would consider like close to family. If you spend enough time in the center, you do eventually befriend the people who are there. You don't really even have to try that hard. It's kind of just a proximity thing. But I really would encourage you to show up to these centers and spend time there. It's a really good place to meet new friends, and I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Jasmine. Anyone else?
I can add on to this. I think there's definitely like whenever I see like the same people come into our centers like pretty regularly, I think you just build really close connections with them, and that's something that's happened to me as someone who's like just always there. And yeah, I've just been able to build really close connections with the people who come visit our centers. And it's just really nice to see them.
Wonderful. Now, this question is not really specific to the topics that we're discussing tonight. It's just more in general for any UC Merced student. So anyone on this panel can answer this. Why did you choose UC Merced as the place for your education?
I can get this one. I think a lot of why I came to UC Merced was because of the sheer volume of opportunities afforded to us, just by virtue of us being a smaller school. I think a lot of the stuff in my resume I could not have achieved were I at a bigger school or one with fewer staff to assist or to be on call all the time. So that's definitely part of why.
Thanks, Jasmine. Let's just go around our panel because everyone here has been at UC Merced for different amounts of time. So let's just start up with Gracie. Why did you choose UC Merced?
Yeah, so I am a third year. And so I've been at UC Merced for 3 years now. And I did end up choosing UC Merced because I wanted more one-on-one with my professors. The class size ratio to professors is a lot smaller compared to other schools, and I work better in that environment. And having that ratio has really helped with my grades and like getting connections with my professors and just doing well academically. I also chose UC Merced because like Jasmine said, there's just a lot of opportunities at our school that many students don't even realize. I was able to go to Washington, D.C. and get an internship over there and take courses over there. And that program is actually really hard to get into at other schools. But since, there isn't as many students at our school, like there's more opportunities for us and more opportunities for us to thrive. So yeah, those are the two reasons why I chose UC Merced.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Gracie. Let's toss it over to Ling. Why did you choose UC Merced?
Much to what Gracie and Jasmine said, I chose UC Merced mostly because it was like a smaller school, and I feel like I definitely work better when I connect with professors on like a more personal level. So, and I think UC Merced has definitely been able to offer that, and there are just so many on-campus opportunities and resources available. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ling. And Anissa, would you like to comment on why you chose UC Merced?
Yeah. So I've been here 3 years as well, and just to echo what they said, everything, also those things, but for me as well, UC Merced being like one of the most accessible UCs this in terms of like resources and things like this coming out of high school in the pandemic, like I couldn't really interact with like my college admissions process. So like these webinars, they were very like gave me a lot of information. I was able to like really see what the school was about, and I could like really see that they had very like intentional care for their students in the way that they wanted them to progress through higher education.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And now this next question is going out to our career staff who are here. We have someone asking, how do people sign up for all of these wonderful programs and resource centers, all these places that we're talking about? How do they sign up?
Do you want me to? I'll take. And if they want to, Destiny Connor, if you want to add, please do. Okay, so there's so many parts, so many moving parts of our department that we constantly have like outgoing messaging on social media, on email. We want to start up maybe a newsletter because there's a lot of newsletters on campus already. So we're trying to dictate what's the best way to communicate with students. But a lot of these opportunities will be posted on our social media, which will be in one of the following slides. Coming up, we also have interest forms. So anytime that we're tabling, we have QR codes that you can scan or links or bit.lys that you can type in to kind of get connected with our department. So we'll send out like, hey, SF Pride is coming up and we need more students to fill the bus because we're all going on this big trip, etc. And then you have the chance to sign up for these things. I will say one of our biggest mechanisms for reaching students has been social media. So you can find us on Instagram. Yeah, Instagram is our most heavily utilized social media platform. So anything and everything that we do will be on Instagram. Otherwise, a lot of students do come into the center as well. So like coming in and meeting us, like we've been able to meet so many students because they literally just open the door. We're open 9 to 5, right? Open the door and they're like, hey, I heard about this new resource center. I want to get to know what you have available, what's to offer, what do you do, how can I get involved? So I will say, I think pro staff have built some really cool and meaningful connections in that way too. So you can visit us, follow us on social media, you can email us, or you can also just keep an eye out for whenever it is that we're having a program. So I will also add, our programs are also really, really fun. We usually always provide food, snacks, beverages. We always got the goods to make sure that students are taken care of when they're sharing space with us. So outside of being able to be whoever it is that you are, which we pride ourselves in creating spaces where students can be whoever it is that they are. We also, I like to say that we do take care of the students that share space with us. So I hope that helps a little bit. And then if my colleagues want to share anything.
I'll just add that, when you decide to come here, you'll go to orientation during the summer and you can come visit our table. And when you come to visit our table, there'll be an interest form, like Camerina said, and then you just scan that QR code and we'll start sending you information, not to an obnoxious level, not until you get tired of us, just enough that you know where to find us, when to find us, that kind of thing.
Wonderful. Thank you. Connor?
I was just saying, because it helps if you hit it 30 times, follow us on social media. There we go. 30 times.
Absolutely. And we do have a slide that I will pop back up here in just a moment so that you guys can get that, take a screenshot and start following along. So I do know, as someone who works in the admissions office, we offer over 200 student clubs and organizations. And I can also share that if there is something that you are interested in, and that could be literally anything. So it could be, I know we recently had a chess club open up. So it could be a hobby activity like that. It could be something cultural. It could be anything that you think of. If we don't already have that at our campus, we would love for you to create that. So just get a couple of friends. I think it's around $25. You write a charter and now you have a club. And then, I mean, you can do all these exciting things, start doing trips as your club grows. And so I don't know if any of our career staff, I'm kind of throwing this out there from the left field, but if any of our career staff want to talk about if any of you maybe sponsor those groups, or if you're like a staff mentor, is that something that you all offer? If there's something that's maybe related to one of these areas that we've discussed tonight?
Well, I am the advisor to 2 clubs at orgs. So the National Association of Black Accountants and the East African Student Association. However, I do know that our students are very involved on campus in clubs and orgs. And so I can, all 4 of them can probably add a little bit more to this topic. So I'm going to pick on Anissa first.
That's your cue.
Yeah, so when it comes to RCOs on campus, there's literally something for everyone. You won't not be able to find something you like. So, for example, our African Student Union and Nigerian Student Association, they just went to the Nigerian Student Coalition Conference. So there's things like that. We just had Destiny, her org, ISA, they just had like a Taste of East Africa, a huge event. So there's something for you. And if it's not there, like they mentioned before, you will be able to make it. And then the campus will also support you through that process of foundation and transitioning into becoming bigger.
Does anyone else want to?
So, oh, sorry.
Sure.
I just wanted to add that because the campus is so new, there is so much opportunity for you guys to show up and make the changes that you want to see. And I didn't believe that when I was a student coming in for orientation. I heard that talking point a lot, and I was like, I'm probably not going to do anything with it. But I showed up, and the campus didn't have a newspaper, so I just made a newspaper, and now it's like, it's my pride and joy, and I love it so much. And it's the one thing that every single job interview always asks me about. It is such a cool talking point. It's been the highlight of my career at UC Merced, I think. So I just wanted to really emphasize that, like, if you show up here and you see something that you want done, you can do it. You 100% can. It's really just up to you to take that initiative and make those steps.
Yes, and I do want to kind of echo what Jasmine just said as well. Not only are the clubs and orgs that we have wonderful to join, but if you do start one on your own, what a legacy that is for you to leave behind at UC Merced. We are the newest in the system. So of course, we're always looking for ways to be innovative and be, going into uncharted territory. And so starting your own club and org is such an amazing way to do that, to contribute to our community here at UC Merced. And like I said, leave your legacy. The other thing, I mean, not only does that help you build your own community while you're here as a student, but just think a little bit in advance of that. Whenever you do graduate and you're building your resume and you're going out for job interviews, that is just another way for you to show the skill set that you have as being a leader. So if you start your own club and org, or you co-found something, that is a way to show that you have those leadership abilities and skills, because sometimes when you graduate, you haven't had a very long list of jobs possibly. And so that's just one more way and one more thing that you can add to your resume to show not only diversity and your skills, but also showing that piece for leadership, which is always really important when we were looking to hire. Does anyone else want to share anything else about clubs and orgs, or anything that you're involved in?
I did want to add that there are clubs specifically connected to not, yes, our department, no, our department, but like they support the mission of our department. So I think we have Social Justice Club, we have QPOC, we have, I don't know, pro staff, help me. I know we have so many clubs, Lambda, we have new club. What is it called?
Undocupied.
Undocupied. We have Students for Justice in Palestine. We have, I don't know, there's so many clubs that we have to meet the student needs. And again, if you don't find that, then you can create that club. And some clubs are as new as a month ago, or have been around for years. Like Lambda is one of the older ones that has been around for a really long time. Undocupied is new, just started within this last year. A lot of clubs, again, you can really create whatever it is that you want on this campus, with a group of friends or a group of people that feel the same way that you do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that extra info there. And let's see, we are getting close to the end of our event. So let me go ahead and toss this one out. This will go to everyone on the panel. So what would your advice be for new students coming to campus, looking to build community in connection with their own identities?
Can I go first?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. So I would just say, get involved as much as you can. Be part of a club, join Greek life, make friends in our spaces. Just make sure that you are involved in something outside of school. Like academics always should come first, but make sure that you are preoccupying your time with being involved with something on campus, because you'll meet some great people and you'll also just have a good experience. My first semester at UC Merced was very lonely at first because it's a new environment and I didn't really know anyone, but I really put myself out there and made sure to get involved on campus. And now I don't want to leave and I'm about to graduate next year. So yeah, that'd be my best advice.
I can go next.
Great.
I'd definitely say come visit our resource centers. There's so many resources for you, and you're able to make new connections with people. And like Gracie said, get involved on campus, join orgs. I was definitely a really shy and quiet person, but being involved on campus definitely pushed me outside of my comfort zone. And yeah, I love it here on campus.
I would say to go ahead, Jasmine. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I would just add that if you're passionate about something, don't be shy about it at all. Put yourself out there. I guarantee you that there's people out there who share your enthusiasm, and the relationships that you make through that will carry you through your time in college. I promise. You can quote me on that.
I would just to add, be very just use discernment, be very not critical, but judge who you're around, make sure you're around the people who fit your ideals and morals. So make sure the people around you are also like-minded as you as well.
Very good. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Now, I'd like to go ahead and give an opportunity to our other panelists, our career staff, if you all would have any last words of advice, and I will go ahead and pull up the slide that has the Instagram information and other contact info while y'all are talking.
I think the last piece of advice that I'd end with is be open to exploring your identity. There are so many different elements to identity. We give these different workshops where we really talk about that. And by exploring your identity, you're able to find groups or spaces and people that that you're able to fit with, that you're able to find sense of belonging with. It may not be the group of people that look or behave exactly as the people that you hung out with in high school or the spaces that you attended in high school. It might be different now that you're in college. Be open to exploring that and be open to the fact that you're growing and you're changing, and as you grow as the person, the groups and the spaces that you identify with might change.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Mhm.
There's no shame in asking for help. If anything, it shows a lot of strength to ask for help when you need it.
Mine's very connected to both. Honestly, just putting yourself, like being okay with not being in the most comfortable state or comfortable, like being okay with discomfort. That's the only way that you can learn about who you are, who the people around you are. That's the only way to ask for help. Like maybe asking for help is uncomfortable. So being able to understand, again, who you are identity wise, and then getting out of your comfort zone to also be able to understand others. I think some of the most beautiful, like relationships, partnerships, and friendships that I've seen and even I've made have been following a lot of the things that were mentioned here. So just being willing to learn and put myself out there.
Does the University of California Merced social justice initiatives and identity programs sponsor any type of series of speakers that have any type of contemporary people involved in social justice coming to campus?
We sure do. In the fall, we have a abolitionist praxis program that's coming, and we intend to have a author that we gave the book out during social justice retreat. Their name is Charlene Carruthers. My niece is nodding her head. I'm saying that right. And they wrote a book called Unapologetic, a queer and Black manifesto, or something cute like that. But they currently do like social justice and advocacy work, and they're a speaker that we're hoping to have, as well as a few notable others. So stay tuned.
Very good. Well, thank you all so much once again for presenting, for being a part of this panel at the end. And of course, for everyone who has tuned in tonight, we would not be here if it weren't for you. So thank you so much for joining us tonight and taking some time out of your evening. On your screen now, you do see that contact information, as well as a lovely photo of everyone that you see here. So go ahead and grab your smartphone now, take a quick picture of this slide so that you do have that email address and that Instagram handle for future reference. And of course, we want you to add onto their Instagram page immediately so that you don't miss out on any of these future events, these speaker series that we were just discussing, and clubs and orgs, all the fun things that you've been hearing about this evening. One other thing I would like to mention that is related to first-year students who are coming in and transfer students who are joining our campus this fall. If you haven't yet submitted your statement of intent to register, you still have time. You can do that as a first-year student through May 15th. And if you're a transfer student, your deadline is June the 1st. Now, the other thing I'd like to mention is if you would like to join us on a future virtual webinar just like this one, or maybe watch one of our instant replays back, we will drop over into the chat box for you the link so that you can get registered for another event, or as I mentioned, you can watch an instant replay. That website is admitted.ucmerced.edu/events, but for your convenience, we will make sure that that goes over into the chat box. Once again, my name is Ricky Hill, your e-recruiter. This has been so much fun joining you tonight. Once again, we do hope to see you and meet you very soon in person. If you haven't yet done a campus tour, those are always an option as well. And once again, the college tour is something we would love for you to take some time and go ahead and grab some popcorn, sit back with your family and friends, and enjoy a 30-minute episode that is showcasing UC Merced, as well as our 10 top Bobcats that we were able to get for that. So go ahead and take a few minutes, get another sneak peek and insight into why everyone loves UC Merced, and we all love being Bobcats here. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you again very soon. Thanks for joining us.